Hi! I got a new mold today. New molds. So I thought I would try it first with you. So what I've already prepared everything ahead of time. So this is a mermaid tail, and I painted some Pearl-X, just the micro pearl in the bottom half of the tail. So I left the top. I put just a tiny bit up here in the fin. And then we have a huge, just clear, or what am I trying to say? Solid circle. And then, I need to get this out of here. It's messing with the level of my, there we go. Look at that. That's all excess resin. That's why I use these silicone mats, because that way the resin like drips out and it doesn't stay on the bottom of the piece when I'm doming, putting the top layers on. And then this is starfish and seashells. So there we have that. So, you know what? I just thought about something. I don't want to pour this yet, and I think I made way too much resin, so I might have to pour it anyway. Darn it, I just thought of something. The original idea behind this set of molds is making a like trinket dish. So once you put this like standing up in the dish, and then put the shells around it. So I should have done these, let them cure, and then pour this, so I have them to put in the mold. So there's my first mistake. So what I did was I mixed up, and I need to hurry because these are getting warm, which means they're going to start setting. So I have some micro pearl in here along with aquamarine, and this is just Ranger Tim Holtz alcohol inks. And in this cup, I did the micro pearl and the pistachio ink. I forgot to grab my towel, and yes, I should have gloves on, but I have not been able to find gloves yet. Thank you, COVID. So I'm just keeping baby wipes close by. I usually have like a microfiber towel that I keep close by, and I forgot it in the bathroom. And then this is one of my new glitters from Glitter Hippo. This is my thermal, and this shows you that resin does heat up. So this is the color, and it changes to turquoise when it heats up. So you can see here that resin does heat up, because I noticed I said I could feel that it's starting to cure. As it cures, it releases heat, which is part of the chemical reaction. So once this piece cures, the glitter will go back to purple. And the way I know that is because I am working on a unicorn with the green. So when I poured this, it was white. And as it cures, it goes back to the original color, which is green. And if I hold on to it long enough, because it is pretty cold, because it's been sitting here for like, I think 2 days now. So you can see there where my thumb was, it goes back to white. Isn't that cool? So much fun. I love it. So anyway, let's get pouring before I waste all of this resin with my jabbering. So what I'm going to attempt to do is pour 2 colors at the same time. I think I put too much color in here. It's a little bit darker than I wanted, but okay. So we're going to, let's see, I don't know how I'm going to do this, not be in the way. Let me turn this way. All right, ready? Hold your breath. You're probably not going to be able to see much because the way I have to position my hands to get it the way I want it. Just letting them drip. Okay, so I'm going to do A little bit in the center here. I'm going to try to do several like different colored shells. Let's see, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? We'll do this here. And I did paint some of the micro. You can see my ceiling fan is actually blowing the little thin dots of resin. So now I'm going to just carefully pour this. And since it's lighter in color, I'm hoping that you will still be able to see. I'm hoping they won't blend too much. So I'm just going to let that set for a minute or two. Go ahead and put this one in. And we're going to have a green starfish. Too much, too much, too much. Okay. And then my idea for the fin, the tail fin, the fluke. The fluke. This is the fluke. This part up here. This is going to be the glitter. So can you believe it? I'm doing something other than glitter. It's a miracle. So I'm going to start up here at the top of the mold and let gravity take it down. So hopefully it will be slow enough that it's not going to overtake, and it's doing exactly what I wanted. Can you see that with the point in the center of the fins? That is perfect. Yay! Okay, so now we're going to pour some in here. And pour this one. Drip. And drip. Drip. Hurry up. Now I want to take just a tiny bit here on the tip of this one. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to just add, I need just a little bit more glitter, resin. See, I always have glitter on the brain. All things must sparkle. Just do it. I should be using my popsicle stick on this instead of trying to pour, because then I'm going to upset myself if I get too much in there. Okay. So we're just going to drip a little bit at a time. I definitely made way too much resin, but that's because I wasn't thinking properly that I could mold all of these at the same time. Now I'm going to add just a little tiny bit to the very, very edge of this. Okay, so let's see, we need some more up here now. That's kind of settled. And the good thing about giving your resin a few minutes after you mix it is it thickens up a little bit, so it moves a little bit slower in your molds, especially if you're wanting to do stuff like this. Because that way you have more of an opportunity to get the color blending. And I lost my peak in my tail. So I'm just going to try to add it back in here. And I will have to add more resin in the tail, but I definitely want to let it sit more. And I'm just adding more of the darker up here because the glitter is infiltrating a little more than I wanted. And I want more teal because remember, when this cures, this is going to turn purple. It won't stay this pale teal. So I'm just using my popsicle stick to kind of manipulate the resin to get the colors back, migrating the direction I want them. Okay. So let's see. This is, I'm telling you, I am loving. I can't believe I never, well, I can't believe it because I was always scared. But resin is something I've been interested in for a really long time. But I just never thought I could do it. So I attempted to try to do like cake decorating and stuff because I thought, well, that's kind of, you know, it's molding and, you know, using molds and stuff. Well, that didn't work out. So that's how I ended up with some molds. Okay, let's see. What do I need to do? Oh, I have some bubbles. But now that I'm like actually doing it and have my hands in it and my eyes this close to it, so cool. So much fun. And there's so many possibilities. It's mind-blowing. So I'm going to add a little bit more glitter to this cavity. It's a little low. I think we're good on those. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pour a thin layer because I have got way too much resin here. I cannot leave this in the cup. So I'm going to have to go ahead and pour. Let's see, let's do this kind of deal. Too much, too much. Actually, let's put some the glitter in here so we get some of that going. Now mixing these like this, I'm not sure how much of the purple will actually show up. It might get completely taken over by this teal, but it'll still have the sparkle. So I'm just kind of like drizzling it willy-nilly. No real rhyme or reason. And this will probably end up being the bottom of the plate, of the little trinket dish, whatever it ends up being. Ooh, stand up. Are you drunk? Let's see, let's do more light. Because the reason I say this will be the bottom is because I'll have to leave it in the mold to pour the top section once I get the fin and the shells placed. So most pieces you take them out of the mold and what you're looking at like this is the back of the piece. Where like with this. So whatever you're looking at the top of the mold is the back. So when you take it out, that's the front. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? I hope you can hear her. That's Elsa. She's yelling for Emily to open her door. That is the deaf cat. And she is on the other side of the house right now. And I really hope you can hear her. She is a flippin' nutcase. She likes to sleep with Steve. Well, she prefers to sleep with Emily. But she will sleep with Steve because a lot of times Emily will kick her out. She don't want her in there. She's so mean. Even though this cat is Emily's cat. And she will stand in the hallway and yowl. Oh, is she playing? What does she have?
The strap for the...
Oh, she stole something. She stole a... We got a picnic waterproof picnic blanket in the mail and this carrying strap. So she just stole it off the table and was carrying it around. That's what the yowling was about. She was like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look what I found. I'm so cool. She's so proud of herself when she steals stuff. Little thief. All right, so I'm just filling in. I might have to grab a couple of other molds so I can use up this resin before it goes to waste. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I guess I'll just keep filling this because this has quite a bit left that needs to, quite a bit left in this tail section. See, now it feels like it's going up the wrong direction. The resin is going uphill. Stop that. That is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be staying level. Stop it. Okay, so I'm going to push it back again and swirl it just a little bit because I didn't want a straight line across. So we'll get some of that swirl going on there. Okay, so let me set this aside before I mess it up. I think we're good as far as bubbles and such. There's a few, but I gotta give them a chance to rise. So I'll be back in just a second. I almost forgot. I got this giant castle, which I'm kind of glad that the other thing was so big because this will work with that also. So I'm just going to, I do not have enough resin to fill this puppy, but since there are so many details, I'm just going to kind of like paint in a little bit here and there. And then I'll have a matching castle. This can be the mermaid's home. So I'm just kind of filling in little areas. This is the other cool thing that's really neat about resin is that you can really paint with the resin. And again, once it starts curing, it's a little bit easier because it's thicker. But then in the same time, you got to work a little bit quicker because it's curing. So we're just going to see how I do here, filling in. Hopefully I have enough time here and I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot with getting too detailed because that's a problem I tend to have a lot is I get carried away. Are you surprised by that statement? Me? Get carried away? That's why I already have like, what, 10 molds and I've gone through like half a gallon of resin and I told Steve today, I was like, I'm opening up a new bottles of resin. He's like, joy. He really is being awesome with this whole thing because he was willing to go running around yesterday, or not yesterday, what day was it? What day was that? Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Wednesday. Yesterday. It was yesterday. Never mind. I tell you, man, we have got to get back into our normal, like, day-to-day stuff, going to meetings and stuff because whew, I cannot keep track of the days of the week. Anyway, I'm trying to find a UV. Oh, I put too much resin in there. It's oozing out. A UV light that doesn't cost a small fortune because they make UV resin and you use one of the UV lights to cure it and it's much quicker. So like this situation right here, if I had UV resin, I would pour the resin in these little places and cure it with the light, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it running and mixing like it's doing right now because I put too much in there. That's the other downside to having it thicker is you can't always tell how much you're putting in, and as it settles, it kind of goes. I like that sound effect. All right, what is going on there? Something going on with my computer. What is that? Checking for driver updates. You better not be ruining my video. I hope you couldn't see that just now. Stupid computer's checking for driver updates. Like, that's important right now. We're working on a castle. That is way more important than driver updates. So I'm just kind of working the resin into these, what do you call these? These areas that have the turret. There's like extra little like things on these I think they're turrets. Are they turrets? I think that's the right word. Okay, so that looks good. So we are going to get a new baby wipe because that cup had resin oozing all over it. I think I'm gonna put this back on here so it doesn't get all over my mat. Like this one probably is. Yep, nope, I actually got on my paper. Okay, so now let's see. Oh, I made a big old mess on this cup. Lord have mercy. Just got a handful of resin. Big mess. Put a little diaper on the cup there. Because I tell you, resin is sticky. Okay, so let's do this tower. We're just going to fill it. Ooh, I wonder if I could put this, make one piece with the tail and the castle. I wonder if that would be too much. There I go again, getting carried away. All right. So get these details in here. It is definitely getting past the working point. And I still have quite a bit. Darn it. Let's see, let's do this guy. We will not make the castle symmetrical. It will be different. Different is good, right? Ah! Alright, come on. Mosey on down. Alright, you can slide on in place and get yourself situated for your new home there, little resin. Alright, I'm going to quit messing because it's getting way too stringy. Alright, let's see bubbles. Pop, go away. Nobody wants you here. Ugh. Sometimes that doesn't work. And I'm not sure why. But then I just take my little tool here, kind of force them to pop. So we'll do a little scrapey. That's the downside to resin is with the mold being face down. Especially when you've got details like this, because you're not sure. I can't tell you how disappointing it is. Well, I can tell you. It's extremely disappointing when you unmold a piece and there's air bubbles in your details. It's very disappointing. Kind of punches you in the gut. It's just like, oh, the piece was perfect except for that stupid air bubble. Okie dokie. Alright, let's see if I've waited too long with this batch. My cup is already a huge mess. This side bad? This side's not bad. Ooh, this cup is warm. Yikes. Oh yeah, we definitely lost the majority of this resin. Look, I will show you if I can. So you can see this resin is already too hard. I need to get it out of the cup. I don't know if do I have something else I can put it in? Oh wait, let's try this. I don't know if this will do anything, but it will get it out of my way. I don't think it will change shape. I think it is done for. So I'm just gonna like dump it into this cavity of this heart. Oh, look. Wow. Now my popsicle stick is stuck. Just get in there and rest, okay? If you want to take that shape, take that shape. That would be awesome. That actually, I might be able to do something with that. It's kind of cool. All right, so now let's see. I definitely do not have much time, if any, with this stuff. So let's see if I can get a couple of roofs. Yeah, I think we're done. Have to mix up some more. Definitely not the best. Woo! It's like, it looks like lollipop, like hard candy. Have you ever messed with hard candy, like made hard candy? That's what this is like right now. It's like that stage. Actually, this is probably where you want hard candy to be when you're working with it. This is not where you want resin to be. I'm just trying to get these two roofs, not roofs. Woo! Get them. I'm not even going to mess with this anymore. I've got a little bit. I mean, I'm sad to waste that, but again, you can't really work with it when it's doing this. So I'm gonna have to move on to another project. I think, well, I have some more shakers I need to work on. So I'll come back later when the pieces are cured. I'll go ahead and finish this one. And when the other pieces are cured, I will come back and show you what has happened. So I will see you later. Hi, I'm back. I had to take them out of the mold and check them out before I came back with you, so I apologize for that, but look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm so thrilled. Here are the shells. Turned out amazing. And if you remember, this is the thermal glitter. So let's see if I can heat it up a little bit here. My hands aren't very warm. It might take me a minute. There we go. So it goes from purple to teal when it warms up, which is so cool. All right, so what I've done is I have poured a layer of clear on top of my disc here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to place, let's see, we'll do it this direction so you can see what I'm doing. So let's see, we'll put the tail here. Now this can be used as like a phone holder or just like a little trinket tray. So you can, there's different, of course, it's whatever you want to do, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I might need to put more resin, let this stiffen up. I'm going to have to let that stiffen up some more or cure a little bit before I try to stand those up because they are not flat. Let's see. I thought this would be more of a creative process here, but I think we're going to have to come back again. I gotta tell you, I love the learning curve of this whole resin travels because it is just so cool. So this one, let's see if this will stand. Nope, they're not gonna stand. So I've got to put some more resin, make it thicker. So we'll go ahead and pour this in. I'm gonna go ahead and pour the whole batch that I had made. So we'll let this cure up a little bit, get it nice and thick, and then I will come back and we'll see if we can get these shells to stand up and make a cool dish. Also, what I wanted to do is I've got my unicorn skin, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit here and there on top of the resin, just for some extra sparkle. There. All right, so we'll be back. I am back. I have been I'm letting this cure, and you can see it's nice and, well, I don't know if you can see or not since it's clear, but it is nice and sticky, which I am hoping will be thick enough to hold everything in place. So let's start designing. So let's see. If I'm going to use this as a phone, it still might not work. If I'm going to use this as a phone holder, nope, see, darn it. How am I going to do this? Ooh, wait a minute. I have an idea. I've been saving the chunks that come out of the my silicone trays. So let's see if I can, because these are clear, so theoretically it will disappear in the cured resin. Whoop, that's not where I want you, but guess what, you're gonna stay there now. So let's see if I can get this and maybe like use these little pieces kind of as props to keep the resin, the shell from falling over. So this is so tricky. No, maybe not. It might not be thick enough yet. I might have to wait longer. Ugh. Stop falling over. Darn it, I keep dropping them in the wrong places. This is so tricky. So tricky. Alright, get off of my tool. Nope, it's falling over. Yep, not gonna work. Alright, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Thankfully, I'm working with clear resin, so you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna try to pull these chunks out. I'm gonna leave it. Plus, this will be a good exercise for me to see if it actually does disappear. And now I have a cat hair. Get out of there. Alright, so hopefully I'm not destroying this piece because I'm going to be really upset if I went through all this and then I can't get it to. Alright, so I'm going to let it cure a little bit more. And I wanted to show you, remember how I had that chunk of resin that was curing too quickly in the cup and I shoved it down in the heart mold? Well, I pulled it back out and I put some clear resin in there. And then I shoved the chunk back in place and I put some of those mica flakes in there. And I think it turned out awesome. So there's a happy accident that turned out gorgeous, right? Right. So happy with it. All right, so I'll see you in a few. Really? I clicked record. I'm talking away. I look up to press stop. The camera was closed. So what I was saying was I decided that these that have kind of like a flat bottom will be my supporting pieces, and then these I've just placed sporadically So I might make a few more shells and like scatter around once it's dry and once I like place my phone and see how it works. So I'll be back again. Very sad. I had to leave and I couldn't babysit my piece and my seashells fell over. And there's no getting them out. It's pretty much, I can leave a very faint fingerprint in this. It's not going anywhere. So the good news is it does work. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 more of these. And what I'll do is I'll sit them in front of these pieces. So at least it will have a visual, you know, the look of the seashells holding it up. But it's still beautiful. So hopefully I can get the colors matched. And I did make, did I show you this? Did I show this already? I did get the castle put together. So it is one piece. And you can see there I had to put some resin in between each piece and I just left it flat and just kind of, you know, put them together so they touch. So now I just need to paint the details so they stand out a little bit more. But this will also work for one of these. Well, I gotta put it in front because it's 2. So this will also work in this same type of scenario. So yeah, I have a smaller mermaid tail, smaller mermaid tail coming. So maybe I'll be able to do the castle like this and then have like the smaller mermaid tail on here. But as of right now, this tail is way too big to put with the castle unless I lay it down flat, which is another thought. So there we have our completed, failed project, but it is still beautiful. I don't know if I should pour. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm just going to add those 2. Hopefully I'll be able to make 2 new shells that match because I do want those shells standing up. I'm so bummed that it did that, but since I had to leave the house, if I had not had to leave the house, I would have kept, you know, babysitting it and making sure they didn't fall over. But it does still work as is, but it also could be because it's in the mold still. So it may slide forward when I take it out of the mold because there is still probably 1/8 of an inch or so. Maybe I do need to put some more, pour a thin layer. It'd be cool if I could get it to just, you know, go around the perimeter and create like an extra lip. I don't know. Anyway, it's my first time. For my first time, it's not so bad. The colors turned out gorgeous, exactly like I wanted. And this is the thermal glitter in the tail. I don't know if I can get it heated up. I should have had my heat gun out so you could see it. Ooh, yeah, let me grab the heat gun. Oh, you can see the tips starting to turn. Let me grab this. This is going to be kind of noisy, but this way you will at least be able to see the color change quicker. Getting too hot. But anyway, there you can see the color change. It's now turquoise teal instead of purple. And those two front shells are teal instead of purple. So there you have it. It's really pretty. Super bummed. So fingers crossed I can get the colors right. And yeah. I'll see you later. Bye.